Hi everyone, this is Tammy at Snowstorm Crafts, and if you're new here, welcome, and if you've been here before, welcome back. So today I want to show you guys 3 different materials you can use making tags. Okay, so all I did here is just got some cardstock, and this just came in some packaging. It was just like a cardstock that was in the back, like to sturdy the packaging or something. And you can use like a cereal box or anything like that, anything on hand. And I just cut them relatively the same size, not perfect. And we're gonna do 3 different kinds of materials to add to your tags. So let's get started. So you can see here, I have some dried flowers. So this is just some flowers I picked in the summer and then pressed them. And yeah. So I have them all like this. And if you guys want to see how I press and I store my flowers to, to get them all dried, I will post that link on the end screen so you guys can come check out the video. Okay, and so I want to incorporate that into the first one we're going to do here, which is the first material is a napkin. So if you have napkins, keep them, pretty napkins, anything, even if you have just plain, like this was just a black napkin. And I went ahead and took my word stamp and dipped it into some just gesso, some white gesso, and did some stamping and then let it dry. So yeah, so that's what I did. And most napkins have like 2 layers, maybe 3 sometimes, so you just got to rip it apart first before you stamp. I've done that before, where I've stamped them together thinking I could rip them apart after. Nope, it does not work. So make sure to rip the layers that you want, then do the stamping, and then just make sure it's not where you laid it. Lift it up, because it'll stick to wherever you lay it. Lift it up, and then maybe lay it over on a rack or something, and just let it dry. And yeah, then you get your little stamped napkin. And what I'm going to do to glue it down is just some school glue, PVA glue, and water mixture. It's just usually 50-50, or whatever, texture or, consistency is the word I'm looking for, that you want to use. So it's just, you can see, it's just a little, I don't know if you guys can see that. It's just a little runny. It's kind of hard to get an angle on that. But, yeah, so just however you want it. It doesn't need to be super thick. Okay, and then I just lay it down. Lay down my tag, add my concoction here. Okay, give it a good coating and see which way you want it. And just lay this down. So I wanted to do this one first with you guys so I can lay it to the side and dry. And if it doesn't dry, in time, by the time I'm done, I'm going to just use my heat gun and, just dry it the rest of the way. So just do the layer over the top and just be careful. Sometimes this is hard for me because I'm pretty rough about everything I do, so I have to go gentle or you'll rip it. And make sure you have enough on your paintbrush so it's not a dry brush, and that helps. So just coat the surface. Okay, and then the next thing's optional, of course, where I just thought it'd be fun to put a little flower, maybe a little daisy. So just make sure you have enough down here. Placing it. Just pressing it down. Okay. And let's see. Well, that's kind of fun, actually. Some of the petals are coming off. So you just kind of go with it. I usually just go with the flow. What's supposed to happen is supposed to happen. Okay. And then get a good amount on your brush and just lightly go over everything. And the stems, you're going to kind of want to get a good amount on there, depending on how thick your stem is. Okay. I know my petals want to come out, so I got to be careful. I don't want too many petals out. And this is just for fun. We're not getting graded on it. We're just doing it for funsies. Okay. There we go. Now that's kind of fun, huh? Okay, just make sure you got enough glue. And this will dry clear. Okay. And if you do go over it too many times and get a hole in it, all you got to do is just rip off a little piece of the dry napkin and just press it down onto the hole like that. And then just go back over it. So there you go. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and set this to the side, and we'll go to our next material you can use to make a tag. All right, so next material we're going to use is washi tape. So I'm sure you guys have some washi tape hanging around and need to put it to good use, so why not? You know, we can use up our cereal boxes and our food boxes and all our scraps, making a tag, and use up some of our washi tape, adding it to our tags. So I'm just going to go ahead and just rip off pieces here and get them layered down. All right, so there is our washi tape tag. I think that turned out really cool. And that's the back of it. All right, so there's that one. And I'll put this one to the side and we'll start the next one. All right, so the last one we're gonna do here is the material that we're gonna use on it is fabric. And I figured why not use some fun Halloween fabric? Yeah. Okay, so let's see here. So I wanna make sure this side has more like the bumpy side to it, and that's smooth. So I've been doing the prettier side on the back side because this is the side that'll show. So I'm doing it like that. Okay, let's see. Maybe one of my China markers would work just to trace around it. So let's see, I'll line it up to the edge here. Like that. Just as good as I can. Okay, and then you can take a pin or anything, but that's why I'm doing it on the back side of the fabric so it won't show. Take it and I'm just going to use my glue stick because I will go to my sewing machine and sew around all of them. I'm going to sew around this one, washi tape one, and then I'm going to dry my napkin one, and I'm going to sew around that one too, just to secure it down. And I like the look of the sewing, and that's optional. And if you guys don't want to do that with your fabric or anything, just go ahead and just make sure you're gluing to the edges. And I would just use like a Fabrifix glue. I got one right here. A fabric tack. Any kind of like fabric glue would work great. So I would just use something like that. Okay. So I'm just going to glue this down and then get everything sewn up, looking nice, and maybe add a little bit of embellishment stuff on it, and I'll come back and we'll talk about it. Okay, so for the napkin one, if you add the dried flowers on top, I did the heat gun for a little bit and got it kind of tacky here. But what I would use is a regular, just a gel matte medium, and just to put over the top of the flowers, just to give it a better seal, because this like dries as like a plastic. So it gives it, like if you're going to use these, like putting them in and out of a pocket or anything like that. But if you were just going to clip them, you know, to the side, I wouldn't worry about it too much. But yeah, I would just put like, just take a little bit and just kind of coat over the top, just to protect everything. And it just gives it kind of like a plastic seal. But if you're not going to do like heavier, bigger flowers like this, I would just do the PVA and water mixture, and you should be fine. But this is just a precaution, just to, you know, just to protect it. So I'm just kind of doing a quick dab around. Okay. And then I'm going to continue drying this and go sew them all. Oh, and also just to let you guys know, so after I get all this dry, I'm just going to take my scissors, and I might do it in a time lapse so you guys can see, but just, I'm just going to cut around the edge, just like that. All right, so I have them all sewn here. You can see better on that side. Okay, and if you can see if it's starting to warp, like with the one with the napkin, you can wait for it to dry totally and then just put some heavy books or something on it just to flatten it overnight or so. Okay, so we got that one, and then I did the fabric one. Just did the same stitching, just a zigzag all the way around. Just kind of gives it a little more pop, kind of frames them. Okay, and if you notice that you made a mistake, quote, quote, unquote, meant to do that, but say a little bit is going like that, and I don't mind it, I really don't. But if you want to hide it, you could take your pretty laces and just, you know, go like this. You can glue that down like that. And I think that looks really pretty, so that kind of hides it. And same here, I kind of went off a little bit so you could see the little bit of cardboard coming through. So if you wanted to take, you know, and maybe frame it with some pretty lace like that, or you can, you know, take some, I just have tea dye paper, fabric that you can just kind of, you know, maybe bunch it up, do it down the side, or just do it down the side like that, or, you know, just find something maybe to put around it. And yeah, so I just wanted to show you guys that. So if you had any little mistakes poking out or things you don't really like, you can cover it up with some, you know, pretty tea dyed or coffee dyed fabrics or laces, or, you know, we got some ruffles here. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just decorate these and see what we can make them look like, and I'll come back. So there we go. We got all three done, and let's see. So this one was our napkin. That was the base of it. So you could do a napkin, and then you can add anything you want on top, you know. Do some dried flowers, do some maybe some more different decorative napkins, you know, like flower napkins on top or something, or butterflies or anything like that. Decoupage that on top would be great. And then I just added some lace over here to the side and did some fun coffee dyed lace on top here. So I think that one turned out really cool. So that is fun. And it's starting to get pretty dry there. And then that's the back of it. So you got your journaling spot in the back. Okay. And then we did the washi tape, which is really fun and really simple. And you just got your pretty washi tapes. And I just taped them down. And then I sewed around it. Now I suggest if you're just going to tape them down and not sew, I would use a glue stick on the back of the washi tape, because you know how washi tape doesn't stick too well. So I would just add a little glue to the back of the washi tape to have extra stick. Then I did some walnut stain oxide and just inked around it, and then added some tea-dyed fabric up at the top here with some stitching. So I just did that for the topper. Super simple, really fun, really effective, looks really nice. And then you could do some journaling in the back. This goes right into your journals. How fun is that? Then fabric. So you can just do any fabrics that you have, some fun fabrics, and glue those down, sew around it if you want. And then I didn't really care for, so I had that little mess up, quote unquote, on the side where you can see the card stock coming through. So I went ahead and just put down some, I think it's avocado dyed ruffle that I put here, or maybe it's onion, it might be onion dyed. And it's got more of a yellow tinge to it. So I didn't really care for that by itself. So then I laid my, I Rit dyed this piece of lace, which if you guys don't know what the Rit dye is, it's just Rit dye, and it dyes water, or I mean, it dyes fabrics and papers or any kind of porous material. And you just dilute it with water. It's very concentrate and it lasts forever. So I mean, this stuff is great. So I think I did wine color and black mixture. So that made this like kind of a cool purple color. So I laid that on top, and then I was like, no, there's something else missing. So then I ripped it all off and went to my sewing machine and just did a fun stitch all the way down. And I'm like, there you go. That's what it needed. So I did that, glued that all together, had it so this pokes out through the bottom and you can, you know, see it. Then I just did a gold rivet at the top and added a little skeleton fabric, which I thought was really cool. And then that's what made me change to purple here, is because it has some purple in it. So I'm like, you know what? I think I need some purple on the side. So I did that, and I think this turned out really fun. I mean, how great is that for a Halloween journal? And then I just, you know, have some journaling space in the back. And there we go. So these are 3 different kinds of materials that you can use to decorate your tags. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it informational. And if you could please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and you guys can see my next video when I post it. Like, comment, and share, and let's grow together. And keep on crafting.